All right, Scott Fish Bowl results are in. I'm so excited because of what the Fantasy Insiders are doing with their website. They're tracking all the picks. You can look it up for your own redraft leagues coming up. This is a very unique setting, and first and foremost, thank you, Scott Fish, for the invite. I'm so honored. Second time around, made the playoffs last year, and I'm going to eat, I'm going to compete, and I'm going to bring my good stuff. But Fantasy Cares is what this thing's all about. You really have to go look it up. Give generously like I have, and just understand what this thing really means. But hey, nothing but experts in this league, right? I think this year there's 900 folks in here, about 200 comprise fans, and it's just a lot of fun. I had a lot of chatter and text messaging going back with guys in my division. Matt Okada is in my division. All kinds of other guys. It's a lot of fun, so you're going to have to keep in touch with how this thing is all going down. But these are the results, and I'll kind of run you through why I did what I did. Fantasy Insiders here. I'll show you what I did, kind of my top 5 picks. So the 101, I took David Johnson. He was, believe it or not, my number 1 overall pick in this special redraft format. Again, no kickers, no defense, tight end premium. The runners get a lot of points for, let's say, PPR, half a point, and then it's obviously touchdowns, and then you get first down points. So you have to really think about who you're going to take, but David Johnson was my number 1 overall. I had him at the 101. I did not have Le'Veon. I had Le'Veon number 2. You can argue with me all day long. Fine. I just think David Johnson can have an amazing year, and I got really lucky with Leo Fournette dropping to number 2. Yes, he gets injured. I understand all that. Don't worry, but I could have taken Keenan Allen here. No, I'm not going upside down drafting here because I was at the 104, and I teach anytime you're in the inside 5 picks, for crying out loud, take runner if you can or best available. And I just thought Keenan Allen, I've just had so many bad beats with him injury-wise. I'll take the steady Leo. And here's the deal last year with the Jaguars. Had he stayed and played all weeks, he would have led the league in touchdowns anyways. I'm sure you're probably wondering why the heck is Tom Brady at number 3? Simply because interceptions count costly here. It's -4. This guy doesn't throw very many picks, so as my QB1 in this very specialized settings, you're going to have to go look it up, scottfishbowl.com. Tom Brady throws a lot of touchdowns as opposed to the interceptions. Amari at 4, I thought was good value. He dropped down a little bit. I think he's going to have a comeback year. I like the coach. I like the situation. Pat Mahomes, what can I say, man? I saw this guy at Exos. Maybe you've seen some of my videos on him. Got to meet him. What a great young man. My uncle worked out with him, quarterback coach, and Pat Mahomes in love at the 5 spot here. Those are my top 2 quarterbacks. So in the Scott Fish, you're probably wondering, yes, you can start 2 QBs because it's a flex, right? There's a lot of flexes going on here. You're going to start 11 people, and then 11 people are going to be on your best bench comprising 22 players. So here with my next few picks, I took Tariq Cohen at the 6, and then I have Juju and Edelman. Edelman is on a 4-game suspension. No problem with that. I don't mind because once he pairs up with this guy, it's going to be good gravy. So I guess what I wanted to show you is kind of the meat and potatoes of my draft right here. The rest I'll explain, but if you're still tuning in, I got Juju here, then Edelman, and I kept going strong. I think Sterling Shepard is due for a huge year. Dez Bryant, I took a shot in the dark. Why not? He's not on a team. You're not supposed to do that. The textbook says don't do it, but every time in the Scott Fish Bowl, you always go opposite. I don't know how this thing works, but whatever you're supposed to not do, I took Dez in the 10th, and I bet you he's going to sign with either Philly, the Niners, the Saints. Who knows? But he's going somewhere, and I want those 50-50 toss-up balls, and I'll take him in the 10th all day long to comprise some of these wideouts. DJ Moore, another guy huge and heavy. I'm not going to talk about him. You already know who he is and why on the Carolina Panthers. He's going to steal so many looks from not only the tight end, but I also think McCaffrey. Corey Clement at 12. Happy about that pick. I think Philly, really relied on him, obviously what he did in the Super Bowl and everything, and I'm happy with that pick. So he's kind of rounding out my 4th running back. And then it gets interesting here, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to say, what the heck are you doing here? There's no tight ends, right? You're waiting on tight end. Yes, I'm weak at tight end, but and Cortland Sutton, obviously you already listened to my other videos. He is my number 1 rookie wide receiver. I really like Kirk on Arizona. I like Miller, but I really like Cortland Sutton just because of Denver's situation. I mean, you got to guard Demaryius and watch out for the elusive Emmanuel Sanders. And then with the quarterback change, I just think Sutton's going to be all over this thing, man. He's going to be open, and again, you get first downs in this league. Another good point. So yeah, the tight end, right? I waited, but in the 14th round to scoop up and collect a Cameron Brate, I just felt like that was a juicy crumb I could not pass up. Package that along with Luke Wilson, who's now on Detroit Lions. The only tight end really viable over there, and I think the Lions have been waiting for a guy like this for a long time because he's a seam tight end. He's going to be catching balls over his shoulder, kind of like the olden days of the NFL, where yeah, he's not a big Gronk, but boy, he's elusive, and you saw what he did with Seattle, and I think a lot of that where I chose guys that are traditionally, historically on tight end bred teams. I got Tampa Bay, I got the Detroit Lions, and then Virgil Green right here, it's a big bet. But in the 17th round, that's okay. I mean, that's what was left to me. Buck Allen, I don't have any comment on him other than I needed another runner, and we'll see what happens over there with Alex Collins and all that jazz. And Kenneth Dixon, of course, it's a revolving door, but I just thought it was good value at 16. Why not? Dede Westbrook, I thought a huge pick there. Dede fell to me. I had a good price here at 18, and then Eckler, big high on Eckler. You just never know what's going to happen with the Chargers. Rod Smith, I had to get a part of the Dallas backfield only because back top here to Leo Fournette, I did not get Corey Grant. I told everybody, all you guys, if you're listening right now, and you could have gotten, Corey Grant this deep, I would have taken him, but he was long gone. Somebody was smarter than I was and got him, and to be the next smarter than the average bear, let's go ahead and take the Dallas Cowboy backfield, which I weigh 219 pounds. I could run behind that offensive line, and I'm white and slow and stupid. And the thing is you just need somebody other than Zeke because you don't know what's going to happen. And this is where you throw darts. And I just thought Rod Smith would be a perfect fit for my 20th overall. And then I took Fitz Magic right here at 21. Not too bad, right? You got Jameis Winston out for a few games. So I just thought, why not have a third QB? You just never know. I mean, every time Ryan Fitzpatrick shows up in fantasy football, he can really go off. And he's got a great Tampa team to throw to. And I just thought it was worth the risk for the first 4 games. Maybe what I do here is my mind was saying, okay, maybe Mahomes needs a little bit of time to get going, although I don't believe so. I think he comes right out of the gate hot. But I just thought, okay, it'd be good because in case I want to start 2 quarterbacks maybe for the first month, I go Fitz, and then again, I get a few of these guys back, right? I get Julian Edelman, who's on a 4-gamer back with Brady and stuff like that. That's just how I think. So Bo Scarborough, last pick. Why? I got a sneaky suspicion this guy's actually going to get some touchdowns this year. And again, I want that Cowboy backfield. You can do however you do in your redraft, but I just think you want to own some of the backup guys in Dallas Cowboy land right now because of just the overall upside. And this is the tournament you do it in, Scott Fish, because you just never know. Now, what am I going to do about waivers? Well, you get $100, and, if you need to drop a guy, you drop a guy. And so some of the guys that are probably droppable here, it just depends. My boy Virgil Green, I really hope he makes this thing out. I know what they're doing with Gates. They don't want Gates to do training camp. He's too old, so what's happening here is Virgil Green's coming in. He's getting comfortable with the quarterback, but I might be able to drop a guy like that if he doesn't pan out, right? I got my 2 tight ends here, and this is why you fade tight ends in a certain degree that I've done here, because the most important piece of this puzzle, in my opinion, Scott Fishbowl, are all these wide receivers in the middle. You got to have a bunch to choose from every week. The runners, hey, it is what it is, man. If both of these guys get hurt, so be it, but you gotta take risks on the wide receivers because they're really gonna make you the meat of the points, as I see it. And as I analyze the numbers, the wide receivers are very important. But again, you could just as much argue that's a tight end premium league. So like last year, I had Kelsey, right? I had Evan Ingram last year. I had Hooper from Atlanta. So this is the fun part, I think, and I think the Fantasy Insiders have done a nice job of keeping track of everybody's stuff. So whether or not you played or know somebody in the Scott Fish Bowl, you should look at some of the analysts who are way, way better than me and what they're doing and why, and some of these strategies, right? I mean, I certainly went a different direction only because, again, to get these 2 value guys there with a Cohen as my third, Clement, and some of these pass-catching backs with a couple bulldozers down here, I went a little different. Anyways, I had to share it with you. Thanks for listening. Johnny B, UpsideDownDrafting.com. Love all the questions. But yeah, if you want to follow me, I'll have all this on the website. I'm going to try to make the playoffs again and compete with these big boys in this huge Scott Fish Bowl. Be good. See you on the next show.